A lot of people are up in arms about this morning. One big question: who actually owns the art inside the DIA? A lot of it is on loan from people. Some of it was donated. Some of it says the city of Detroit purchased it. Well, I just talked to officials here at the DIA. They are saying they're keeping a very close eye on this fluid situation. Were you shocked to hear this was even being discussed?
I am not shocked by anything that occurs in the city lately. I think all of us are a little battle-worn over what has been happening with the city of Detroit.
Could some of Detroit's greatest treasures be lost if the city's debt continues to grow? It's a possibility if Detroit declares bankruptcy. According to the emergency manager spokesperson, Kevin Orr has notified the Detroit Institute of Arts it may face exposure to creditors if the city is forced to seek bankruptcy protection. Right now, there is no proposal on the table to sell the DIA's assets to settle debts, but we're told the emergency manager has warned the museum it could happen. Here's what Metro Detroiters are saying about the possibility.
A lot of it's privately donated, so absolutely not. It should not be sold off as part of some type of, cattle call, so to speak, or something to get Detroit out of debt. The DIA didn't do it. DIA shouldn't have to suffer for it.
Why do we have to keep giving up everything like Belle Isle? We don't have anything anymore that we used to have back in the 90s or the early 2000s. So everything's just gone, and it's like we need to hold on to something, and I don't think the DIA should suffer too.
Liquidating essentially private assets should not be an option for the city of Detroit. City of Detroit's problems were created many, many years ago.
No one can estimate for sure how much all that art is worth, but many believe it could fetch several $billions. And right now, Detroit's about $15 billion in debt. The DIA has hired one of the nation's top bankruptcy attorneys in an effort to protect the collection.
We are concerned that the DIA collection would ever be considered for sale because we believe that the city and the museum hold this art collection in trust for the public, and that means that it is not sold to satisfy debts.
As you may remember, last year voters in 3 counties approved a tax levy to pump roughly $20 million into the DIA's budget annually.
This is really uncharted water. We have never had a municipal bankruptcy of this size before, let alone one that involves a museum of the size and scale of the Detroit Institute of Arts.
And a spokesperson for the emergency manager told Fox 2, quote, as Kevin Orr has said many times, he is considering many different options to help rectify Detroit's fiscal crisis. What I can say is there is no formal plan on the table to sell any Detroit asset, the DIA, or otherwise. So right now, this is going to be in the hands of the attorneys. We don't have to worry about it unless the city does declare bankruptcy, but a lot of people think that is the direction the city is heading. So it should be interesting to see how this all pans out. But as I said this morning, a lot of people are upset about this one. Live from the DIA, Amy Andrews, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Amy, everybody's talking about this morning, and a lot of people are saying, residents in the 3-county area pay taxes on the DIA, so actually you might say they own part of it. So tell us about that. Where are the tax dollars actually going?
Well, from what I understand and what I've read so far, and this is all being worked out by the attorneys right now because it's a very complicated situation, but whenever we pay into that tax levy, it is supposed to go into the operating budget, $23 million annually for the museum. So it goes into the operating budget. It has nothing to do with actually who owns the artwork inside. So like I said, they're going to have to leave that up to the people who are trained to handle all that stuff to figure that one out.
All right. Thank you, Amy.